you sick of this happening to you?
I have a in my bank.
Literally all for a guess.
Are you kidding me? Are you? Well, worry no longer. Alright, what's good? It's Worm. In today's video, I have done it again. I have made a fully AFK fishing macro. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to use it. And before the video starts, I would like to thank my singular channel member, Ramen. Thank you so much for being a channel member. I appreciate you so much. You are the GOAT. Anyways, if you guys do want to become channel members, just be sure to go join. You'll get some exclusive perks and some very cool things with the next macros. Anyways, let's get on with the video. So if you guys didn't already see in the thumbnail, this macro has allowed me to get an insane amount of golden swordfishes, as well as new enchants like the Ramen Amber enchant stone. I did let a few people use this macro early, and let's just say they had even better results than I did. So if you're even half as lucky as this guy, you're gonna have a good time with this farm. Now to get onto the actual macro. This macro requires almost no setup, and you only need a singular item, and that is a purifying ring. You will, of course, to run this macro, need a fishing rod and a cancine as well. You can actually get these both innately with your character using the echo upgrades. Of course, if you do need echoes to actually get those echo upgrades, you can use my AFK echo macro. And yes, for those asking, the echo macro does still work, so please do not ask me to fix it. Please do not ask me to change it. It works. If you can't fix it, you need to go to my Discord and find the solution to that. So due to the amount of people that do for some reason have issues, I, along with this video, will be making a guide on how to use macros, how to set them up, how to download them, open them, run them, edit them, and fix them to ensure that they are working. I will also go into detail on some of the mechanics I use to make macros in case you wish to make your own and to see the actual issues that are plaguing your macros. But enough yapping, let's get on to how to actually run the macros. Now for where you want to fish, you can pick pretty much anywhere. Unfortunately, there are two big bugs I want to report in this video, with this being the first one. The first of the bugs being that the guild-based fishing pool just doesn't work. The water in here is not real water. You are not able to fish in this water, you are not able to fill your cancine in this water, you're not able to swim in the water, you're not able to do anything. This water is completely broken, it is fake, it is all fraud, and I hate it for that. So hopefully with how often my macros get countered by the devs, they will hopefully be able to at least fix this. The second bug is more funny and has to do with how chests work, but you guys can see that later on. For the rest of the locations, however, this macro will work in any body of water, so feel free to pick whatever spots you want. I'll actually show you the spot I like to use real quick. The spot I like to use for my macro is at the little spot in the Etrian Sea. Here it is on the map, you can see where it is. It's this little rock right outside of Lower Aricia. I'll actually show you right here. There's Lower Aricia. You can come on over here, and by coming right behind the shack, you will see there is a little fishing pool. This is a great spot to set up the macro as it's pretty hidden and it stops people from jumping you. But of course, you could pick any other location with a fishing pool or just any other plain body of water, and this will work just fine. So with that, let's get on to how the actual macro works. As you'll see on my screen, when I open the macro, there's a lot to see. First, I'm going to go over how to set up the fishing part of the macro. So by pressing reload, I can reload the script and it will realign itself with my screen. Then what I can do is I can actually set the macro for my screen resolution. The screen resolution is a big issue as to why a lot of macros break. I was able to make it so the screen resolution is not a big factor in this macro, but you will still need to set it up if yours is different than mine. This is mainly for people who have different screen resolutions than mine, which is a big issue with some macros. So I made a feature to easily set this up. Now that we have the macro refreshed, we can press K to see our coordinates on our screen. It will show you the coordinates of where the A key will scan, where the S key will scan, and where the D key will scan. These, however, can be changed if you have a different resolution than mine. I have a 1920 by 1080 monitor, so if you have those same settings, you will not need to actually touch this. But I will at least show you how to already set this up if you do have a different one. So all you need to do is actually go to a fishing spot and start fishing. So once you're at a fishing spot and you're ready to start fishing, I'm actually going to show you guys how to set this up. It says press G, H, and J to set the positions for A, S, and D. It's going to be in that order. G goes to A, H goes to S, and J goes to D. So when the little fishing icons pop up on your screen, all you need to do is put your mouse over them and say A pops up, you will press G. If S pops up, you're going to press H, and if D pops up, you're going to press J. So I'll actually show you guys how I do that real quick. So say I start fishing, and now we just wait. When the buttons pop up, simply press the keys, and you'll be able to set the coordinates. Say for some reason your screen is smaller or bigger, and your buttons are all the way over here, you can press G, H, and J over here, press K, and your coordinates will refresh and change. You can press them anywhere, and then they'll refresh, and then the macro will correspond properly. Of course, if you do want to save these settings, you will need to actually go into the macro and change this yourself. As you can see when I open a macro, you can see this whole section. Right down here is where you want to change your coordinates. The only coordinates you're going to have to use are going to be the first two. So say my A coordinates are 261 and 377. We're going to change the X to 261 and the Y to 377. We'll do the same for the S and D. The S is now 557. We'll change that there. And the S for the Y is 697. So we'll change that on there too. Once you do all those, you'll just have to press Control S to save, and then you'll close it, and it'll all be good. One thing I do want to let you know, you will not have to worry about the numbers on the right, as those are the offsets for where the macro is going to scan. How this works is with these 2 points, it makes a little square in which it scans for the little icon. Once it does that, and they're in the right spots, it will scan for them, press on them, and then you'll be able to fish super easily. Of course, if you do wish to change how this works, I will have that secondary video in the description once it is ready, so just check down there, and if it's down there, you'll be ready to go use that video. Then once you have these set up, all you'll need to do is get your canteen and your fishing rod and put them in the proper slots. If we of course go back to the macro real quick, we can see our fishing rod key is set to 1 and our canteen key is set to 2. So we put the fishing rod in 1 and the canteen is 2. We of course need to equip our purifying ring. I don't have one on here, but I'm still going to show you guys how it works. Simple as that. Once that's ready, hop in the water, press shift, F11, and then you start the macro. And it's as simple as that. With this AFK version of the macro, I did also actually make a semi-AFK version, so if you don't want to go fully AFK and just use this at a spot while you're there, it's pretty easy. What you need to do is just open that version, open it on your screen, press the fish, and then start it, and then it'll start automatically for you. I don't have my cancel on my keyboard at all. This is doing it all fully automatically, and then what it'll do is it will recast the line, and then you're good to go. Let's see how long it's actually going to take. There we go. And there we go. Just like that, I got a chest, and I am now inside the chest. Okay, I'm alright. Anyways, with that, I'm actually going to show you guys a new section that I added due to popular demand. In that section, it'll allow you to get pinged whenever the macro gets something. So say you get a golden swordfish, or say your macro breaks, the macro will be able to ping you. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to set that up real quick. In the macro, there's an extra section I want to show you guys. As you can see where it says Discord right here, you're going to want to put your Discord ID. So by removing these brackets and putting your number in there, whatever it may be, like that, you'll be able to get pinged with the macro. Then all you need to do is get a webhook. Once you get your webhook, you will come down to the bottom with your link. Once you get the webhook URL, what you can do is you can put in the 2 little brackets right here, and you'll have to do that 3 times for the 3 different sections. By doing this, you will be able to get pinged in case your macro breaks. Of course, if your macro does break, it will ping you with the webhook, which will be pretty useful, as usually this macro will break due to bugs, which I'll actually go over in a second. The other reason being, if you got a golden swordfish, which is pretty nice, because I would like to know if I got a golden swordfish so I could go and I could bank that. Now, as I did just mention, there is a second bug that plagues this macro a lot, and I'm actually just going to show you guys that real quick. Yeah, this bug happens a lot. It can even void the items you're holding. From what I know, this is mainly due to how chests are reeled in, as they are anchored to your character. And if they touch a wall for some reason, you could just get flung or teleported across the map. So hopefully this bug will get fixed eventually, but who knows. Either way, besides those 2 bugs, once you get everything up and running, this macro can run for hours without interruption. Just pick a nice safe spot, go into a dead server, and this macro will run for ages, allowing you to get a crazy amount of loot and of course golden swordfishes. Specifically to test this, I ran this macro in public servers for over a week, and I think in the time that I was running this macro, I think I only got ganked twice by 2 people at this spot. Which, to be honest, for running this macro almost all day, every day for over a week, that's pretty good for only getting ganked twice. I will say that that does remind me that I wanted to bring something up. As I have already gotten what I wanted with this macro, I have no reason to improve it even more. But I do have a way to make this foolproof against death as well. But with that, it's a little bit of a chore for me. So I've come up with a trade for you guys. If you guys help me get 500 subscribers from this video, I will make a better foolproof version of this macro that fixes itself when it dies. Just be warned that this method will need 2 alt accounts and you'll have to have a similar guild base layout to me. But besides that, if I do make that foolproof version, I'll make a secondary video explaining how to run it. But with that, the macro will be up for download in my server at the time this video goes up. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Just make sure that you follow all the instructions in the video, as please, I tried to make this macro as simple as possible to set up. So hopefully you shouldn't have any issues. But with that, if you made it to the end, I'm begging you to please subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps me. But with that, I hope you all have a great day.